typical morning in LA traffic.
Absolutely. One of the things I love about, honestly, this whole movie, but how it begins is it cares about LA as a city full of people, lots of different people. It's a multicultural city. As we begin, we're passing through these different cars. We're hearing the different songs they're playing on the radio. And it gives you this feeling of like, this could have been any one of these people's stories. We just happened to go into this car. It's almost like a Nightmare Before Christmas when he wanders into the forest and it's like, which door is he going to open? Oh, he opened that door. And then that's a Christmas movie. It feels like there's this really cool celebration of LA, like holistically, that I think is really fun and gives this like so much energy. The cinematography and the approach to it, obviously, like there's a lot of long takes, there's a lot of wide angles. It's clear immediately that they actually did this on a freeway. That's insane. And so like this movie is announcing itself again as this big swing, as trying really hard to kind of honestly reach further than I think it even has the means to do. Like I honestly feel that when I watch this. It's like, I think you barely made this happen. Yeah. And I think the way I've seen you shoot other scenes, like that level of production value and stuff, you clearly couldn't do here. Like you made this really hard for yourself, and I can feel it barely working, but it does work.
It also announces right away that this isn't going to be, as you were identifying, Brian, kind of like the Broadway stage musical now on screen, but rather the way it's shot, with, real sunlight on a real freeway out just in the open here. You're bringing these kind of musical elements and musical choreography into the real world and this kind of gritty space, but we're not kind of transitioning into like a CGI or a soundstage reality here. We do that later in the movie, but I think it's just announcing that this is not going to be that kind of musical only. This is playing with going between like the gritty reality and the musical exuberance in a different way than maybe you're used to.
It feels like a perfect marriage of the movies that it's drawing on, the like classic Hollywood, films, musicals, with the color palette is also bright and the music is so uplifting and the dance, there's nothing cynical about it at all. It's so earnest. It's doing all of that, and yet it is keeping it grounded in this way where like I feel like I can feel the heat and the car roofs and the steepness of the grade of the thing. And just like I can feel the passion of the people making it to make it in this way outdoors in traffic, right? It's celebrating the shiny Hollywood dream and also the traffic. It's celebrating both of those things at the same time. And I feel like that's what the movie tries to do with, throughout. It's celebrating, hey, you might get the dream. You also might not end up with the person that you were in love with.
And this is also where In the Heights came to mind to me. It's just that sort of like everything feels sweaty and, it doesn't feel like very like clean cut. It feels it doesn't feel dirty or gritty, but it feels more like a movie than a lot of musical movies do. We just talked about Chicago, which is like very stylized in a way that works great for that movie. But that movie is not ever trying to like feel normal. Do you know what I mean? The idea of this Another Day of Sun obviously is presented as like a hopeful thing, in this movie. Like you're going to be let down, but then tomorrow, like the sun will come up again tomorrow, kind of a vibe. But also you can look at it either way. I've always said I had this weird moment when I first moved to LA where I was in some studio apartment and driving to like some crappy temp job that I got. And yet I'm like on the freeway with my window down, blaring music. And it's a beautiful, like sunny, warm day. And I look out the window and I see the ocean. And I'm like, man, I made it. I'm so successful right now. Meanwhile, like the star of a Broadway show in New York is like taking the subway back to his apartment that's slightly bigger than his body. Someone pees on him on the way. It's pouring down rain. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just like, it's like that person's like really successful and just feels miserable all the time. And in a weird way, that kind of thing can make you feel like you always need to try harder, whereas LA can almost have this like false sense of satisfaction to it too. So
Totally.
Another day of sun, there's so many things that could mean. It could also mean, hey, I don't care how miserable you are, the sun is still going to be there. It's still like, it could be taken as a cynical way of just like, there's always going to be this hope, this hopeful sort of like vibe being thrown at you, whether you want it or not. But I do like, obviously, to start this movie that it feels it's doing more of the hopeful side of that.
This reminds me of, it's kind of an Obama era like music video. I feel like, you know, there was that, remember that Happy 24-hour LA music video? That might have been after La La Land, but the Pharrell Williams Happy experiment or whatever. But yeah, I think that just like there's a ethos and a aesthetic to this that feels very of this era. And it's fun to go back to there right now.